We came back with all of our friends that were there at the start of the night. And by the way, when we got back, Fifi, our dog, was visibly scared. She was hiding up a corner in the kitchen that she had never been in before. And obviously, because the camera had been moved, we don't know what happened in those last hour or two. My boyfriend entered the flat first and he said, "Hello." Sandra was in the kitchen and she said, "I'm really not happy. I'm furious, in fact." And Sam, my boyfriend, says, "Well, we're not very happy either, to be honest." Sandra said, "I didn't realize Big Brother would be watching me." My boyfriend just wanted to make a light-hearted joke out of the situation and he said, "Big Brother's always watching." So because Sandra was still in the kitchen and me and all of my friends were still in like the entryway to the flat, she had to come out of the kitchen and walk through all of us to get out of the front door. I was just standing up the corner because, like I said, I hate confrontation. So I was just kind of standing there like this. And she walked past in front of me and she said, "I'm going to sue you, actually." So now she's outside of the flat in the hallway and my boyfriend and one of our friends were standing in the doorway of the flat. My friend said they have every legal right to have a camera in their own property for safety and security. Sandra gets her phone out and starts taking pictures of my boyfriend and our friend. And she said, "I'm going to get photos of your faces." So naturally, because she was the only one angry here, my boyfriend and our friends were standing in the doorway like this, like posing for the photo. Remember this as a pose because this will come back up later. And up until this point, we hadn't mentioned to Sandra that we knew that her mum was round. We only mentioned her dog being over. Sandra said, "I've got photos of your faces on camera now." My boyfriend says, "Yeah, we've also got your face and your mum's face on camera. Thanks for asking for our permission for your mum to come round, by the way. I'm just gonna act this out." "What? My 78-year-old mum? Thanks for asking for permission. There's a shit on the side, by the way." "You did a shit on the side? That's crazy. Wow." "All right, thanks, Sandra. Good night." And now we go on to the following day. From Sandra, "I wanted to talk to you about the pet sitting yesterday. Initially, I agreed to do it as a favor, but I've since learnt you had a camera set up and were monitoring me without letting me know in advance. That felt like a violation of trust." Talking to me about a violation of trust? "That felt like a violation of trust and it's made me reconsider our arrangement. Given the circumstances, I'm no longer comfortable treating it as a favour. My usual rate is £13 an hour and I was there for 6.5 hours, which comes to £84.50. Which is funny because how is that your usual rate when you're not actually a dog sitter? She was literally just a neighbour. Please let me know when you can send it over." I had to take a break, but I'm back. I said, "I'm sorry I didn't tell you about the camera beforehand. I only checked the camera once last night very quickly because I wanted to see what Fifi was up to and then I saw that you had your dog and your mum over. I thought we agreed that our dogs wouldn't meet yet, but maybe that was a miscommunication, so I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt still. I apologise for making you feel uncomfortable, but you also made us all feel uncomfortable last night. You mentioned I broke your trust, but you also broke my trust by bringing your mum and dog over without asking. I don't want any beef, but you did agree that you'd do it for free. I can give you some form of payment, but I won't be paying the amount that you mentioned since I wasn't happy with your services and how the night ended. Why would I pay you when you literally shouted in my face that you're gonna sue me?" And obviously I have many receipts of her saying that it was free and it was a favour, so you can't really go back on that once we had already agreed on that. Sandra says, "Shame you didn't like my services. But recording someone without their knowledge is a serious breach of trust. I am owed my money. I'm not a thief or a crook. And I'm disgusted with your attitude, laughing in my face and threatening me as I left your flat with your boyfriend putting his fist up, shouting that I had a shit in your flat." Okay, remember when I did this and I said remember it for later? When my boyfriend and his friends were posing for the camera when she said, "I'm going to take pictures of your faces." That's when they did that. So I don't know if she saw that like this. And I don't think I was laughing in this situation, by the way. Like I said, I was scared of confrontation. I was standing at the corner like this. She says, "It doesn't matter if my mum came round." Well, it kind of does when you're in my place and you haven't asked if guests could come over. My mum came round to bring me something. It was a long time, no TV. There is a clip that I've seen of her trying to use the TV. Is that my fault if you don't know how to use a TV? No. And to say that her mum came round to bring her something when I can see on the camera that she was there the whole time. I forgot to say as well, there is a clip on the camera where her mum is basically like saying that because we've got such an expensive flat, obviously they're just guessing, they don't know how much it costs, but they're thinking that we're rich now. And her mum says like, oh, if they offer you any money for this, you should take it, like knowing that she's doing the dog sit for free. But now because they've seen the flat and they think we're rich, they're just guessing, they don't know how much it costs, but they're thinking that we're rich now. And her mum says like, oh, if they offer you any money for this, you should take it, like knowing that she's doing the dog sit for free. But now because they've seen the flat and they think we're rich, that she should get paid for it. You don't have to believe me. I can't put the video clips in. I had to clear up dog mess with rubber gloves my mum bought round. Is that a crime? Given I was doing it for free on a Saturday night, I'd like you to find someone else who would do it. Why did you have to pick up dog mess with rubber gloves? I don't think that's a normal thing to do, but you're blaming that on me, that you chose to pick it up with rubber gloves? Like, poo bags exist for a reason. Also, she's complaining that she did it for free on a Saturday night when obviously she knew prior to this dog sit that it would be a Saturday night and had no problem with it. I gave up 6.5 hours of my time to care for your pet, which I did. That is not for free now, not for you. £84.50, you can pay it installments if you can't pay it now. I said, as we agreed prior to the arrangement that this would be a free service, I won't be paying anything. That was before you decided to set a camera up and monitor me without my consent. Like I've said before, I did not check the camera that one time to monitor her. I was just wanting to see how our dog was. And since all of this happened, I went back and watched all of the clips, which yes, I'm monitoring you now. I wouldn't have gone back and watched all of the clips if it was just a nice normal dog sit, would I? I said the camera was already there. We didn't set it up for you. I'd suggest we end this conversation here as I feel like it's going back and forth without a solution. It won't be ending here at all. You have no right to set up a camera and record me in your flat without telling me. It's not legal and very disturbing thing to do. Creepy, in fact. I think she's just mad because she got caught. If you notice, I have not brought up any of the other weird things that she was doing in my flat yet. You're a liar as well. If it was there for your dog, why would you be watching me on there? She then sends me something from the internet or chat GPT or something where it says that you should inform the sitter that cameras are in use, which I also found that on Google, but it doesn't say that legally you have to let them know, which I've already explained. In the same message that she's copied and pasted from wherever, it also literally backs up my point. It says cameras placed for security or animal safety in communal areas like the living room could be seen as reasonable. So it was in the living room / dining room. They're all connected. So it could be seen as reasonable. Like, you just sent me that. She said, you owe me £84.50. That's one solution. I'm not doing you any favours on my Saturday night for 6.5 hours looking after your dog while you spy on me for nothing. The spy camera, I'll keep you updated on the solution for that one. I want to clear a few things up. When you agreed to help, it was understood as a favour, not a paid arrangement. There was never any mention of payment, so I'm not liable to pay any money after the fact. I also need to point out a few concerns. You brought your dog into my home, which could have endangered my puppy. You invited your mum over without checking with me. I didn't mind, but I should have been asked first. Lastly, you saw the security camera in plain view on the dining table as it was not hidden, and I noticed it was moved to face another direction. So clearly you did see it. I'm grateful for the time that you gave, but given that this was a favour and my boundaries were crossed, I won't be making a payment. I'd like to leave things here on civil terms. It was never agreed as a favour. Again, let me remind you of the messages where she agrees to do it as a favour. It is not your business if my mum came round. I think it is. And spying on someone is another matter. That is creepy and disgusting thing to do without telling me. I'm not doing you any favours. I don't babysit dogs on my Saturday nights for 6.5 hours clearing up dog mess for someone for free, especially you. Can I remind you of the message where I did say I would offer some payment? I did say I will pay you something, but not the full amount that you're asking for. I have offered you some form of payment, as I previously said. I had no bad intentions with checking the camera once to see how my puppy was doing, but it just so happened to be during the time that your dog was over. We didn't want your dog to meet ours yet, which I think is quite a reasonable request to ask you to take your dog back home. You knew prior to the dog sit that it had been arranged from 4:30 to 11 p.m. on a Saturday night. If this isn't what you wanted to do with your Saturday Saturday night. I'm not sure why you agreed to do it. You were also surely aware that dog sitting involves cleaning dog mess, so I'm not sure why this is a problem. Because she keeps bringing up like, I had to clean up dog mess on a Saturday night. Well, yeah. You were dog sitting. She then sends 2 messages the next day at 7 a.m. and deletes them. But luckily, I screenshot them when they came through. This one is crazy. Look here, Holly Lang. There is nothing amicable about the way you treated me on Saturday night. You are not going to get away with it. The stress you have caused me, so pay me what you owe me. Which is £84.50 for the abuse caused and stress with your spy cam. The stress I've had off you and your boyfriend thinking you can go around treating other people like scum. Otherwise, I'm going to take this further and get a claim out / lawyer on you pair, as I'm not letting this go, as you are disgusting people. I've got pictures and a video of the 5 of you who came back home and chucked me out and laughed in my face. Bunch of bullies. Obviously, we didn't have to chuck her out because she just left. Her messages literally say like, when are you coming home, because I want to leave. By the way, I haven't said yet, but this lady is like way older than us. We're all like in our 20s, and this lady, I don't know how old she is, but I would guess like 50. I'm trying to be civil and just leave things and move on, and she's going around calling us bullies. The whole point of me looking after your dog was doing it as a courteous favor. So it was a favor, which I thought was a very kind gesture on my behalf, but it turned out like I was treated like a criminal entering your home, which included a spy cam that I was unaware was set up for me to enter the flat. That was a setup. She's basically saying, we put the camera there to set her up, to catch her doing something criminal. Why would we just wanted you to look after our dog. Who would leave a wallet on the kitchen surface? Is that normal procedure when you ask a stranger to go in someone else's place? And a few pieces of loose change there also, with a half-open bottle of cheap plonk. Also, maybe they were left there for me to take, as that's where the camera was pointing to. It would be very unlikely that I would ever touch anything of yours or anyone else's, so I didn't need your spy cam for me. I wasn't an intruder coming in to look after your dog. I'm a neighbor. I'm not a criminal as you're trying to make me out to be. As I said in the first video, because we were all there like pre-drinking before we went out, we had left like our wine and whatever we were drinking out on the kitchen side because we were rushing to leave. I didn't even know, but one of our friends had left their wallet on the kitchen side as well, but surely that shows that we trusted her. And there was also some loose change there on the side as well, which had been there for weeks. It was my boyfriend's like change from the shop or something, and it was like £1.20. Whoa, wouldn't want to catch you stealing that. And she's insulting the wine that we were drinking. It probably was cheap. When I came round for my interview on Thursday, you could have told me about the camera. I'm not an employee or dog sitter. So she admits she's not a dog sitter. So why are you saying my usual rate is £13 an hour? So this is my response. And I think I really popped off with this one. Firstly, responding to your message that you have since deleted. We did not need to chuck you out as you claim. You walked past us and out into the hallway, which everyone, like all of my friends, are witnesses. Everyone saw that. Like you said, you're not a thief and nothing was stolen. I have never accused you of stealing or being a criminal. The spare change that you mentioned on the side was £1.70, so it wouldn't have been a very substantial trap to leave you when it's obviously not a lot of money. Like, if we wanted to catch you stealing, why would we leave £1.70? Personally, if it was me, I would have no problem with a camera being in the room if I wasn't doing anything wrong. Since all of this has happened and you're throwing accusations at me, I have since checked the footage on the camera. I have found a lot of things you did which I don't like. 1, you invited your mum over. 2, you fed Fifi human yogurt. Yeah, that is something that